Hello everybody, this is your local artist mate Natsu, and this is my first time doing commentary, so this is going to be a bit weird for me, but I'll get used to it. Anyways, today's video is about using the artist and using their crows to counter maps, Badham and RPD. I will show you every loop and how to counter them using the birds, making survivors feel completely useless and hopeless. If you enjoyed the video, please comment below and tell me what you thought of it. And if you've got any more tips that I missed, please let me know in the comments. I'm always willing to read the comments. Anyways, see you in Badham. Okay, we are in Badham, and the first tile I want to show you is the garage, because it's a very powerful tile. And I love countering this tile because it makes survivors feel completely useless, and it feels good every time. If the door spawns here, you always want to break. Sometimes a window vault will spawn here, sometimes it won't. Let's see what pallet spawn we got. So we got this spawn. So what you want to do is place a crow here and place a crow like here, so they can't get out. They're going to be locked in. If the window was here, you'd move the direction more towards the window, but by doing this you're blocking the exit, so they're always going to get hit. You're likely going to be able to get the hit on the staircase anyway, but if you don't, the second bird is just the backup. So you place the crows like this. You basically want to chase the survivor down here, but go back up, place the crows there, and then place another crow here so you can play around the pallet. They're basically going to get hit no matter what they do. Just look, it's pretty much all counted. But I guess if they're looping this way, you can do the opposite. You can place one down here. I should have placed the first one here, but you get what I mean. You do the same thing, but in reverse. That's how you counter garage. The next loop I want to show you is the main building. Main building's very strong. This loop here, you can prevent holding W by quickly placing a crow here and a crow here. You want to get in a good position, but if you play it well, they're going to feel useless. And they're not going to be able to loop the tile no matter what they do. They're going to have to run this direction to that pallet, or keep running this way. You should be able to get the hit most of the time. Here's the main building. A lot of survivors are going to be looping around the fence, so you want to place a crow here. If they run this way, they're going to they have the choice to play this tile, which you can also counter by doing the same thing again, by placing a crow here and a crow here, so they can't just run W. They will be forced to play that pallet over there, but they won't have enough distance by the time they get there. It's a free hit basically. But if they don't play the pallet and keep holding W, they'll float the fence, and then they might run back here, and if they do, you can shoot the crow you place at the start and get a free hit. Simple as that. This part of the main building's very interesting. You might want to get rid of this pallet, but if you're chasing the survivor down here, you're going to place a crow here, and then you're going to actually go backwards, because they might be going the other way. You can place one down here. You might have caught them off guard, and if they keep going this way, you're going to be able to catch them off guard easily and get a free hit. Sometimes there's a pallet spawn here, but there's a pallet. You probably want to break the pallet, but you might have enough time. Even if they do. If they stick to this pallet, you can easily outplay it anyways. By placing a crow like this, going this way. And then they'll be forced to vote. In total of 3 entry again. So that's how you outplay the main building. You always want to keep this door shut. Do not break the door. So that's basically main building in a nutshell. There's a few more loops I want to show you on Badham before we move to RPD. Like some regular pallets. Like here. If you get on this side of the pallet, you can easily counter it, making them unable to hold W in another 3 hits. This pallet can easily be outplayed. By placing a crow here and a crow here. It might be a bit harder to do because the pallet it's quite wide, but you can block it. Sometimes you might just have to force it down though. The bots decided to finish the match before I could explain all the counters to this map. House of Pain. I will show you how to counter House of Pain easily. First thing is, if you've got the time, definitely break these doors down. Only if you've got the time though. It makes the house way less powerful. So you're chasing the survivor into the House of Pain. If you see them going upstairs and place a crow like this, you might try and vote this window, and you can counter it by also placing the crow here. So when you vote, they're going to get hit again. And for this final window, you can block it off by doing something like this. So when you play the pallet, they're going to get hit regardless what they do. They won't be able to do anything. They're basically always getting hit no matter what they do. And that's how you counter House of Pain. Another interesting loop I want to talk about is the one back here. So when you play this loop, you want to make sure the survivor's on this side before you place the crow. Because you place it like this, and then they're going to go this way, but then you won't be able to outplay because you've blocked off you blocked off the exits for them. In total in the 3 entry. Unless they fake go one way. But most of the time you should be able to get a hit. Any more notable pallets I want to talk about? This one might be a force down. Depends. No, it isn't. You want to try and get them in the middle of the pallet, and if you're able to do that, you can block it off here and block it off right here. And that's how you counter this loop. But the key thing is you gotta make sure the survivors are in the position you want them to be before placing these crows down. Or they can just hold W. Like here, they could likely just hold W to that pallet here. So you want to be on this side of the pallet. If you're on this side, you can counter it like this. And do this. So you see what I mean? You just gotta think. This one's a force break. I mean, if you're against a dumb survivor, they might just loop around. But for the most part, they're just going to hold W to over here. This pallet's very easy to counter. You just place a crow here and a crow here. want to be on this side of the pallet. Place a crow like this, and a crow here, and same thing. And shack's just shack. You play shack how you normally would play shack. By placing a crow here. And sometimes even like this, so if they vote, or just one straight this way, you can get the hit by shooting a surprised crow after. I think that's pretty much everything about Badham. I'm going to see you in RPD now. Now that we are in RPD, RPD has two different versions, West Wing and East Wing. There's slight differences between the two versions, like the L-tie being different, or certain places being blocked that are not blocked on the other version. The first loop I want to show you is the middle. This pallet's very countable by placing a crow here and a crow here. Sometimes the pallet can spawn on this side instead, but it's the same thing. Now here, for this loop, sometimes that pallet can spawn here, and sometimes that pallet can spawn here. Seems like we got a decent pallet spawn, so we can use this crow to outplay that pallet better. But if you got it on this side, you might want to force it down. I mean, you likely want to force down this pallet anyways, because it's a very powerful pallet, one of the strongest in the map in my opinion. So to outplay this loop, you place a crow here. You could place a crow here, so they can't run back and play around this pallet. You could also play around the window, it depends on what the survivor does. And that's how you counter that loop. This pallet's pretty simple. You just place a crow here, and a crow here. And that's how you counter that loop, like this. For this loop, you want to make sure you're on this side of the loop, because if you don't, you can easily run out of the loop. And artist players don't want survivors holding W. So you're on this side, block the exits by doing that. And it should be a free hit pretty much. Yeah, pretty much a free hit. For this palette, there's a few things you can do. If you're on this side, you can block the exit here. Place a crow here, and even block the exit here as well. But if you're on this side, which you don't want to be on, you can still block the exits though. Show you in a second the crow's recharge. Block it like this, and like this, and like this. We talked about that loop already, yeah. Talked about that. Here, it's a very similar story. You want to place a crow here, and they're pretty much going to get hit every time. Now for the outside on this part. They might force down this pallet, but if they don't, you can easily outplay them by placing a crow like that. And placing a crow like this, and they can't do anything. It depends on the distance though. The library. Library is very simple. You want to be on this side. You want the survivor to be in this corner, because if they're in this corner, you can pretty much fuck them over. And so in a free hit again. On East Wing, I'm pretty sure this door's locked. This loop can be annoying because you can hold W back downstairs. This likely won't work a lot of the times. I mean, I think it will work a decent amount of time actually. If they're running towards that way, you can place a crow like here. Try and cut them off in time and block it off here, and it's a free hit. This loop can be very nasty. You can block this loop off very well, in fact, by placing a crow like here, and here. You won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to even hold W out of the room. It's very powerful. That's how you counter that. Rest Wing again, because I didn't get to finish. There's only a few more loops left for West Wing, and then it's just East Wing. This is a God palette. You want to force this down most of the time, but you can get a sneaky hit if you've got the distance and the pre-drop. You're able to place it, and if you're fast and press control, you can get a free hit. But most of the time, you just want to force it down. I didn't showcase this part of the map yet. For this loop, you want to block it off like that. Block off the vote as well. And then sometimes a pallet spawns here. Not all the time, but sometimes. You can easily play around the window with another crow. But if they don't, you can play around this pallet easily with the remaining crow. They pretty much can't do anything. If they vote, they get hit. If they go this way, they get hit. If they vote here, they get hit. So you got one crow left, you just outplay it like that. Same thing here with this window. Now to the outside. This pallet's very weak over there. You can easily counter it by doing this and doing this. They're never going to be able to do anything. It's an artist free hit. This loop though, you have to think slightly more. If the survivor does not end up holding W, if you react fast, you can block that exit, then block here, and block here. They won't be able to do anything once again, and that's how you counter that. For this loop, if they go towards this way, you can block it off like that. It's a free hit again. This loop, you want to go on this side. It's like, you want to go on this side actually. You can block it off. You can block it off like this. They can't do anything. I think this palette spawns slightly different. Sometimes, I don't think I've noticed it before. Because I remember it spawning on this side, I could be wrong though. With this palette, you might have to force this one down. Can't really hold W here. I mean, survivors can hold W strong, I mean. Yeah, you might want to force that one down. You can block off the exits to try and make them knock, but you can just hold W. You could also play this pallet like this if they decide to hang around the pallet by blocking off the exits like that. Very weak pallet, very countable. Same here. Just place a crow on one side, it's a free hit. Same here. Okay, that might be all the loops for West Wing now. Yeah, seems like it. So that's West Wing for you in a nutshell. East Wing is basically going to be the same thing, but there's an outside section that's completely different. Finally, East Wing. I'm very excited to show East Wing because I think artist players will prefer this version. There's a few reasons why artist players will prefer this version, in my opinion. First, one of the stronger loops is more weak because a certain path is blocked. You can block off that pallet there like before, but this time this is completely blocked, making this stronger. You can easily block the window here and block the exit here as well, so you can't play around that pallet. So they're pretty much screwed no matter what they do. The other exciting part is the outside. It's completely different. I think artists can play the outside section quite well. I'll show you in a sec when I get there. Because in the outside section, this is now open completely. So we got the two pallet spawns here. Sometimes this pallet won't spawn, and sometimes that pallet will spawn around here. So if you've got this spawn, you can counter it by placing that and that, something like that. Now we've got the double pallet spawn. You want to be on this side of the pallet, definitely. You don't want them holding W to that side. And you don't want them holding W to that pallet. You can easily block it by placing it like this and quickly getting on the other side, blocking that. Blocking always to go to safety. And this pallet's a pretty similar situation. You want to be on this side, definitely. You want to block off the vault here and block off the exit here, and you can't do anything again. I think everything else is pretty much the same, with basement spawning here on east. No, this is slightly different. Damn, this is an awful spawn. You're going to have to force one of these pallets down, it seems. But for this one, you can block it off. I mean, you can try and outplay this pallet, but I think it's just better to force it down. You can easily block off, well, not easy, but you can try to block off the pallet by doing this. And then they get hit that way. But you might have to force it down. Any more changes for East Wing, or was it pretty much just like that? You got this room. Going to be on this side. You can block off all the exits and get free hits. This pallet's annoying. You have to break it. Can't really outplay that pallet. Oh yeah, this is a new room as well in this version. If they're on the generator side, because the generator sometimes spawns on that side, you can block it off like that. You can also block the window vault. You can easily outplay this pallet. They pretty much get hit here as well. That might be all the changes. let's check the library just to make sure I'm not missing anything out. Oh yeah, this is blocked off on that side of the map as well. Yeah, library seems to be the same. And as mentioned in the other part, this is blocked off. So I think this is how you counter RPD as the artist. Sorry for this uncut, but there's a thing I forgot to mention, and it's the artist add-ons. My two favourite add-ons on the artist are Served Hands and Still Life Crow. I love Served Hands because any survivor within 3 meters will also be swarmed. This makes sniping easier, and it also makes tracking the survivor rate easier. It can give you hits that you normally would not be able to get. The second add-on I really recommend is Still Life Crow. And the reason I really recommend this add-on is because crows stay active for 4 seconds longer. This makes your trap loops 4 seconds more dangerous. This is very good because the survivors might think your crows have died and reset, but in fact they haven't. So I recommend you use this. The other thing I forgot to mention is I want to show you 2 matches of the 2 maps I showed today in live time. Just to show you that the tricks I showed you today work on real players. I also hope you enjoyed the non-commentary matches. Thank you for watching. Hi, it's Natsu again. Those are the two matches I was able to record. It took a while to get the footage because map RNG and the chances to get the map you want is extremely low. You may have noticed I struggled a bit on RPD, and you're going to experience that a lot as the artist. It's one of her weakest maps. For RPD, I might actually recommend changing your add-on. I recommend changing Still Crow to Baby Shoes, because you can see the aura of survivors since there's a lot of walls. If you run this add-on, you may be able to get more hits without missing your crow shots. And that's just my opinion though. The next guide coming up is going to be on the game map. Hope you guys look forward to that. If there's a certain map you want me to cover before the game map, just let me know in the comments. See you next time.